Hello, and welcome to the Sleepy Astronomer. Here the universe is not loud or rushed. It speaks in whispers, inviting us to drift slowly through its mysteries. Tonight we explore a quiet question. Is space truly empty? Or does it hide secrets beyond our sight? So settle in, close your eyes, and let the stillness of the cosmos guide you into rest. The night opens wide around you. You close your eyes and imagine yourself drifting upward, past the air that carries sound, past the clouds that blush in twilight, past the final wisps of Earth's atmosphere. Slowly the sky deepens, changing from blue to indigo, and then to a darkness so deep it feels endless. Yet this darkness is not empty, it is patient, it is gentle. Between the stars there is a silence so complete that it seems to cradle you. You might think of silence as absence, as the lack of everything. But here, silence is a presence of its own, steady, soft, and rich with hidden meaning. The stars themselves hang like lanterns on a vast ocean, each one glowing yet separated by enormous stretches of space. Those stretches are what we call emptiness. Still you begin to wonder, can something so vast, so deep, so mysterious ever truly be empty? Take a slow breath. Picture the distance between two neighbouring stars. Even the closest ones to our sun are light years away. A light year, the distance light travels in 1 year, is nearly 10 trillion kilometres. Imagine holding that distance in your mind. Imagine one star glowing warmly at one end, another star waiting far, far away at the other, and all that lies between them. Darkness, quiet, stillness. You feel yourself floating there. At first, it seems like nothing at all. No air to carry sound, no wind to brush your skin, no ground beneath your feet. But as you drift in this imagined darkness, you notice something. Your own body feels lighter. Your mind feels quieter. What you thought was emptiness begins to reveal itself as a kind of embrace. Scientists once thought of space as nothing more than void, an empty container holding the true actors, the stars and planets. But as our knowledge deepened, so did our sense of wonder. We discovered that space is not a hollow vessel. It is a fabric, woven with laws and patterns, alive with faint but constant whispers. Look again at that darkness between the stars. Imagine it as an ocean at night. You cannot see its currents, but they are there, moving, shaping, holding. Just as the sea has tides, space itself holds a quiet rhythm. Galaxies drift, gravity bends, time flows. Even in what seems like stillness, there is movement too slow for the eye, too gentle for the touch, yet always present. Your breath slows as you rest in this awareness. The darkness, once frightening, now feels like the pause between heartbeats. A pause is not nothing. It gives rhythm, it gives meaning. In the same way, the vast stretches of space give the stars their setting. Without the silence, the song would be lost. Without the emptiness, the stars would have no place to shine. Imagine lying on your back in a quiet meadow. Above you, the sky is a blanket scattered with lights. You gaze at those lights and think of the distances between them. The gaps are enormous, yet your mind crosses them with ease. You're able to hold both presence and absence in the same thought, both light and dark. In this way, the universe teaches you something profound. Emptiness is not the opposite of fullness. Instead, emptiness is the space where fullness can bloom. The silence between stars is the canvas on which galaxies are painted. The gaps between atoms are the breathing room that allows matter to exist. The pauses between your breaths are the spaces where calm enters. Slowly, you let your imagination wander deeper. Picture yourself moving farther from Earth, leaving the Milky Way behind. The stars spread out thinner, and the darkness stretches wider. You're not afraid. Instead, you feel held, as if the universe itself is a cradle. The emptiness carries you, soft and unbroken. Scientists sometimes call this vast darkness interstellar space. It is the region between stars, filled not with absolute nothingness but with delicate traces of matter, a few atoms drifting here, a speck of dust there, a whisper of radiation passing through. To the eye it looks empty, but to the patient heart it is alive with subtle presence. You let yourself imagine floating in that region, surrounded by faint whispers too soft to hear. Each atom is a messenger, each particle a reminder that even the loneliest stretch of space holds company. Silence, you realize, is never truly silent. The more you rest in this thought, the more you feel your own mind quiet. The chatter of the day softens. Worries lose their edges. Like the stars resting far apart, your thoughts drift into gentle separation. Space, it seems, is teaching you how to rest. And so the gentle darkness between stars becomes not a threat but a comfort. It shows you that vastness does not mean loneliness, that silence does not mean absence. It is a reminder that you are part of something immeasurably large and yet intimately present. As you drift at the edge of sleep, hold this truth. Emptiness is never truly empty. It is full of patience, full of subtle presence, full of the quiet stage upon which every light can shine. When you close your eyes tonight, imagine yourself resting between the stars, carried in their silence. For in the gentle darkness there are secrets waiting, and in the next chapter you will discover how even the vacuum itself, what we once called nothing, holds its own quiet breath. Close your eyes once more and feel the darkness around you. The stars glimmer faintly at a distance, scattered across the sky like scattered embers from an ancient fire. Between them lies the great expanse, the vacuum of space. At first thought, you might imagine a vacuum as absolute nothing, a perfect absence. Yet like a lung holding quiet breath, the vacuum is not empty. It is alive with a subtle presence that whispers to those who listen with patience. Picture yourself floating in this ocean of quiet. There is no breeze to stir your hair, no water to cradle your body, no ground to steady your feet. Yet you are held, suspended, as if space itself has a softness that cannot be seen, but can be felt. The vacuum, though invisible, wraps around you like a silent breath. In physics, a vacuum is defined as a region devoid of matter, but this is only a definition shaped by longing for clarity. In truth, no place in the universe is ever entirely empty. Even the deepest reaches of interstellar space carry a handful of atoms, a sprinkling of dust, a trace of light from stars long extinguished. To the human eye, it is nothing. To the sensitive mind, it is full. Think of a quiet room just after the rain has stopped. The windows closed, the air still, the world hushed. At first, the silence feels absolute, as if every sound has been removed. But as you settle, you notice tiny presences. The ticking of a clock, the faint hum of electricity in the walls, the pulse in your ears. The silence, you realize, was never truly silent. It simply asked you to slow down enough to notice its subtleties. The vacuum of space is much the same. It seems empty, but within it live the smallest murmurs of existence. Particles appear and vanish. Energies ripple and fold. Fields stretch unseen across the void, as present as air even when you cannot touch them. What seems like emptiness is instead the stage on which everything else performs. Let yourself imagine the vacuum as a canvas. A blank surface, yes, but one upon which colour and form can emerge. Without the blankness, the image could never appear. In this way, emptiness is not the enemy of existence, it is its partner. The void does not resist creation, it invites it. Every galaxy, every star, every planet rests upon this invitation. Take a long, slow breath, feel the air entering your lungs. With each inhale, space fills what was empty. With each exhale, space opens again, returning to silence. Your body itself teaches you the truth of the vacuum. Emptiness is dynamic, always shifting, always preparing the ground for what comes next. Scientists speak of quantum vacuum fluctuations, tiny tremors that pass through even the emptiest regions of the universe. Imagine a still pond under moonlight. To the eye, the surface seems calm, but if you look closely, you notice faint ripples, movements too small to disturb the reflection. The vacuum behaves like that pond, never perfectly still, always alive with small passing waves. Rest in that image. Even where you expect nothing, the universe refuses to be bare. Instead, it hums with subtle life, with constant becoming. This is the breath of vacuum, gentle and endless, and there is something comforting in that. When you feel hollow, when you sense emptiness inside yourself, remember that even the greatest void in existence is not truly empty. It holds motion, possibility, and quiet creation. Your own inner spaces are the same. What feels like nothing is often the ground for something new to emerge. The vacuum also carries a balance. Too much energy and it would tear apart. Too little and nothing could form. Instead, it rests at the edge between silence and activity, like the soft balance of sleep itself. In this balance lies harmony, a reminder that peace is not the absence of all things, but the presence of just enough. Imagine drifting farther now, deeper into intergalactic space. The stars thin out. Galaxies grow faint. You float in darkness that stretches without end. The quiet is immense, yet within it, invisible whispers move. It is like lying in a forest at night, eyes closed, hearing the almost inaudible rustle of leaves, the far-off call of an owl. Nothing overwhelms you. Everything simply rests. The breath of vacuum is patient. It carries no urgency, no demand. Its rhythm is slower than any heartbeat, wider than any breath. It moves at the pace of eternity, and you, in this moment, are allowed to join it. Your breathing slows. Your body grows heavy. The emptiness around you is no longer frightening. It is supportive, steady, kind. Think now of your own thoughts. During the day, they arrive in streams, quick, bright, demanding. But at night, as you prepare for rest, there are gaps. A thought fades, and before the next arises, there is a pause. That pause is your own inner vacuum. It is not nothing. It is a breath. A moment of stillness that makes the next thought possible. Just like space, your mind depends on emptiness to give shape to what is full. As you lie there, listening to the rhythm of your breathing, you may begin to feel a kinship with the vacuum itself. Both are spaces that seem empty but are quietly alive. Both are quiet but never dead. Both hold room for what comes next. The breath of vacuum teaches you that what we fear as emptiness is, in truth, the gentlest form of presence. Without it, stars could not shine. Without it, planets could not orbit. Without it, galaxies could not drift. Without emptiness, fullness would have nowhere to be. So you rest, floating in the dark, held by nothing and everything at once. The vacuum breathes, and with it, so do you. And just as you are about to fall into the sleep's embrace, another thought waits at the edge of your mind. If the vacuum itself breathes, then perhaps it also moves with hidden tides. In the next chapter, you will drift into those tides, the sea of invisible particles that slip in and out of existence, reminding you that even silence can dance. You float gently in the darkness, surrounded by silence so deep it feels endless. Yet even here, in the heart of what seems like nothing, the universe stirs. The vacuum is not still. It is alive with invisible dancers, tiny particles that appear, vanish, and appear again. They are too brief to hold, too fleeting to see, but their presence is certain. Space itself ripples with their quiet steps. Scientists call them virtual particles. They are not permanent like the atoms that form your body or the photons of starlight. Instead, they flicker into existence for the briefest instant, like sparks on a cold night that glow and then fade. Imagine standing by a calm lake in the darkness. At first, the surface looks perfectly smooth, but when you watch closely, you notice tiny rings spreading outward, ripples born from movements too small to see. The lake is never fully still, neither is space. You might think of these fleeting particles as the foam at the edge of an ocean wave. They rise, froth and dissolve, leaving no trace, yet their presence proves the sea is alive. In the same way, the vacuum bubbles quietly, restless with these momentary forms. This bubbling is not chaos, it is rhythm. It is the steady heartbeat of a universe that never allows true nothingness. Imagine now that you are drifting deeper into this sea. Around you, unseen particles come and go. They brush against you without touch, whisper without sound. They are not here to disturb you, but to remind you. Even emptiness holds motion. Even silence holds song. Take a breath. With each inhale, you draw in presence. With each exhale, you let it dissolve. The rhythm of your lungs mirrors the rhythm of these quantum appearances. They arise, they fade, they arise again. Your body and the cosmos move to the same hidden tempo. In quantum physics, this constant dance is sometimes called vacuum energy. Even when everything else is removed and every atom, every ray of light, the vacuum still hums with possibility. Energy flickers in and out, leaving space never truly bare. It is like the faint vibration of a string you thought was silent. The universe, even in its quietest places, always sings. This hum is not just a curiosity, it shapes the world around you. The atoms in your body, the stability of matter, the very structure of space-time, all are influenced by this endless sea of fluctuations. Without the invisible froth of virtual particles, the cosmos would not behave as it does. The hidden shapes the seen, the fleeting shapes the lasting. Rest for a moment with that thought. The unseen guides the visible. The silence holds the song. The emptiness is the root of fullness. Picture a meadow at dusk. To the eye it is calm, but if you look closely you notice fireflies drifting in and out of view, blinking here and gone again. Their glow is brief, yet it lights the field with life. Virtual particles are like those fireflies, blinking in and out of existence across the meadow of space. You cannot catch them, but their fleeting glow tells you the meadow is never empty. You feel yourself drifting, carried by this gentle understanding. Your body softens, your thoughts grow lighter. Like the particles, your worries appear and fade, never staying long enough to hold you. You are learning from the vacuum. Everything arises, everything passes. What remains is peace. The sea of invisible particles also reminds you that reality is not always what it seems. To the naked eye, space appears blank, flat and lifeless. But beneath appearances lies richness. Beneath silence lies music. Beneath stillness lies dance. The universe is never empty, and neither are you. Even in your quietest moments, you carry motion, breath, heartbeat, thought. You are full even when you feel hollow. Imagine now lying on your back in that cosmic sea. Invisible ripples pass through you, gentle as waves beneath a floating boat. You cannot see them, cannot touch them, yet you feel their calm sway. The sea carries you and you rest, safe in its rhythm. Scientists have tried to measure this energy, to weigh the hum of emptiness itself. Their discoveries suggest that this invisible sea may even connect to the expansion of the universe, to the mysterious dark energy that pushes galaxies apart. The tiniest flickers may shape the largest motions. From the smallest to the grandest, the cosmos is woven from invisible threads. And so, as you drift in this thought, you realize something profound. Nothing is ever truly still. Even when you rest, your body is alive with quiet motion. Blood flows, lungs rise and fall, cells renew. Stillness is never empty. It is alive in ways too small to notice, just like the vacuum. You breathe slower, deeper, calmer. The rhythm of the unseen becomes your rhythm. Space itself seems to breathe with you. You're not separate from it. You're part of its endless sea. The invisible particles remind you not to fear emptiness. They show you that what seems void is, in truth, fertile. Out of the vacuum comes potential, out of silence comes song, out of darkness comes light. The universe rests on these hidden tides, and so do you. As you drift towards sleep, hold this image. The void is a sea, alive with sparks that come and go. You float upon it, weightless, safe, cradled in the hum of existence itself. And at the edge of that rest, a new thought appears, gentle and inviting. If the vacuum hums with energy and flickers with particles, what ancient memory does it also hold? In the next chapter, you will listen to the faintest whisper of all, the afterglow of the Big Bang still glowing across the universe like a lullaby from the dawn of time. The universe has a memory, faint but enduring. Long before stars were born, before galaxies gathered their spiral arms, before planets cooled and oceans filled, there was only fire, not fire as you know it, but a searing brightness, an ocean of light and heat. From that fiery beginning, the Big Bang, the universe expanded and cooled, slowly changing, slowly softening, and even now, more than 13 billion years later, a gentle trace of that first light remains. You cannot see it with your eyes. The stars outshine it, the night sky hides it, the Earth's atmosphere bends it away. But sensitive instruments can still listen to its whisper. This light, stretched by time and softened by distance, has become a faint glow that fills the universe evenly in every direction. Scientists call it the cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of creation. Close your eyes and imagine it. A blanket of warmth, thin but endless, wrapping the entire cosmos. It is soft, not blinding, quiet, not roaring. It hums gently like the fading echo of a lullaby. You drift in that glow as though wrapped in a memory, a warmth that does not fade. Think of a fireplace that has burned down to embers. The flames are gone, but the coals still glow, carrying heat long after the fire has passed. The cosmic background is like those embers, the last warmth of once blazing universe. When you rest beneath it, you are touching the memory of the first light, the very beginning of time. This glow was first discovered in the 1960s quite by accident. Two scientists, Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson, were listening with a great radio antenna, trying to tune into signals from beyond the Earth. But no matter where they turned, they heard a faint hiss. Not from birds, not from machines, not from the Earth itself, but from the sky. That hiss was the voice of the cosmic background. What seemed like noise was actually the oldest message in existence, reaching them across billions of years. Imagine the patience of that message. Born in the first 380,000 years after the Big Bang, it travelled unbroken through the vastness of time, carrying with it the story of the universe's youth. When you rest in its glow, you are lying in history itself. You are listening to the heartbeat of the cosmos at its very beginning. The background is everywhere. If you held an old television tuned to static, a tiny fraction of that static would come from this cosmic glow. Even in the simplest noise, the universe hides memory. Every direction you look, no matter where, you are bathed in this faint afterlight. You live within it. You breathe beneath it. You are part of it. Take a slow breath now. Imagine inhaling that ancient warmth, the soft glow of the first fire. It does not burn, it comforts. It reminds you that even in the deepest darkness, light endures. Even after the brightest flame has cooled, its memory remains. The glow also carries secrets. Within its faint ripples are patterns, slight differences in temperature, tiny fluctuations across the sky. These patterns are the fingerprints of the young universe, hints of the places where galaxies would one day form, where stars would gather, where worlds would spin. In those ripples, you can trace the seeds of everything, your body, your planet, your night sky. Picture a pond after a stone has fallen in. The ripples spread out, fading with distance, but still carrying the memory of the splash. The cosmic background is the ripple of the greatest splash of all, the birth of the universe itself. And just as a ripple carries the memory of its beginning, so too does the glow carry the story of time's dawn. You drift, imagining yourself wrapped in that faint light. It is not harsh, not blinding. It is like moonlight diffused through thin clouds, gentle and quiet. You rest in its embrace, as if the universe itself has tucked you in with its first blanket. Scientists map this background, painting its faint variations across the sky. To them, it looks like a soft patchwork quilt, tiny differences here and there, but overall smooth and even. To you, it feels like comfort, the reminder that the universe began in warmth and carries that warmth still. The thought itself is soothing. No matter where you go, you are always within this glow. Every corner of the universe carries it. Every particle of space hums with it. It is universal, constant, enduring. You are never outside it, never apart from it. As you rest in this truth, you begin to feel a kinship with the cosmos. Just as your body carries memories, scars, lines, breaths of the past, so too does the universe carry its own. The glow of the background is the cosmos remembering itself. You and the stars share in this memory, wrapped together in its light. The afterglow also teaches patience. It waited billions of years to be discovered, whispering across time with no urgency, no demand. It simply existed until the moment when eyes and instruments became sensitive enough to notice it. In the same way, your own quiet truths wait inside you, patient until you are ready to hear them. Emptiness holds whispers, and you are learning how to listen. Your breathing slows, your body grows heavier, sinking into the rhythm of rest. You feel as if the ancient glow has entered you, filling you with its quiet warmth. The universe feels less like a cold expanse and more like a gentle home. You are not drifting in emptiness, you are lying in light, wrapped in memory. Imagine now the faint glow stretching forever, filling even the vast spaces between galaxies. It is steady, uniform, unchanged. A mother's hum that never ceases, a fire's warmth that never fades. You are a child of that light, carried in its embrace, bathed in its patience. And as your eyes grow heavier, one thought lingers like a soft star on the horizon. If the universe still carries this memory of its fiery birth, what else might be hidden in the void? Perhaps space itself is woven with unseen structures, invisible fields stretching everywhere, holding everything together. In the next chapter, you will drift into those hidden fields, the invisible threads of reality that give weight to the world, filling the void with structure even when it appears empty. You close your eyes and return to the quiet between stars. At first glance, the darkness feels bare, as though nothing at all lives within it. But with patience, you begin to sense another truth. The emptiness is woven. Invisible threads stretch across the cosmos, unseen yet present, filling every corner of the universe. These threads are called fields. They are not decorations placed upon space. They are space itself, the hidden structure that shapes all that exists. Imagine a meadow with tall grass rippling in the wind. You cannot see the wind itself, yet the movement of the grass tells you it is there. In much the same way, you cannot see the fields of the universe directly, but you can see their effects. Particles move because of them. Matter exists because of them. Without these fields, the universe would be an empty stage with no actors. With them, the play of creation can unfold. One of the most mysterious of these fields is the Higgs field. You may have heard of it described as the field that gives mass. It is everywhere, invisible and constant, stretching across the cosmos like water filling an endless ocean. Without it, particles would have no weight, no presence. They would drift like light, never settling, never forming the atoms that make you, the stars, or the earth beneath your feet. Picture yourself moving through a gentle fog. Each step feels slightly heavier because the fog surrounds you, brushing against you. That is how the Higgs field behaves, giving substance to the smallest particles, slowing them just enough to let them gather, to let them exist. Without this quiet field, there would be no galaxies, no planets, no body lying here now in rest. But the Higgs field is not alone. Other fields stretch everywhere too. Electromagnetic fields that let light shine, gravitational fields that curve space around stars, quantum fields that hum beneath even the calmest silence. Each one is like a thread, and together they weave the fabric of the universe. The void is not empty. It is a tapestry, vast and unbroken. Rest in that image, a cosmic fabric, smooth but strong, holding all things in place. You are lying upon it now, as surely as you lie upon your bed. It carries you, it cradles you. You need not see it to know it is there. Think of a spider's web in moonlight. From a distance you may see nothing at all, but when the light strikes just right, the web glistens, revealing its delicate strands. Fields are like that, hidden but essential, silent but shaping everything. The universe itself rests upon their design. Even the space within your body is woven with these fields. The atoms that form you are guided by them, held together through their subtle influence. You are not separate from the cosmic fabric, but you are part of it. You are stitched into the same cloth as the stars. Take a long, gentle breath. Feel the air fill your lungs. The molecules that enter you are heavy because of the Higgs field. They carry electric charge because of electromagnetic fields. They obey gravity because of the gravitational field. Each breath is proof that emptiness is full of hidden presence. There is comfort in knowing that the unseen supports you. You do not need to hold yourself up. The fabric of the cosmos already does. Just as your bed supports your body without question, the fields support existence without pause. You are always carried, even in silence. Scientists spent decades searching for evidence of the Higgs field. They built great machines, particle colliders, to recreate the conditions of the early universe, to glimpse the hidden structure behind matter. In 2012, they found it, the Higgs boson, the particle that confirmed the field's presence. It was like discovering proof of the invisible ocean in which all things swim. The discovery was not just about physics, it was about belonging. It told us that everything we see is tied to everything unseen. Let that thought soothe you. You are held in an invisible embrace. The stars above, the ground below, the breath within you, all exist because of a field you cannot touch yet always inhabit. The void is never void. It is full of invisible strength. Imagine now that you are lying in a hammock. You cannot see the threads beneath you when you close your eyes, but you trust them to hold you. That trust allows you to relax, to drift to sleep. In the same way, the cosmic fields hold you in their web. You do not need to see them. You can rest in their presence. As you sink deeper into stillness, you realize that emptiness has layers. What appears bare is, in truth, structured. What seems like nothing is, in truth, everything. The seance between stars is woven with invisible threads that make all else possible. Your mind grows quiet with this realization. You feel less separate, more connected. You sense yourself as part of the same fabric that holds galaxies together. You're not floating alone in emptiness. You're suspended in a field that cradles all things. And just as your breath slows, a question drifts softly through your thoughts. If invisible fields fill every corner of space, what greater mystery pushes galaxies apart, making the universe expand faster and faster? In the next chapter, you will float into that mystery, the quiet, unseen force we call dark energy, a presence that stretches the cosmos wider with every heartbeat of time. The universe does not stand still. Even now, as you lie in rest, galaxies drift further from one another. They move not in haste, but in a patient, steady widening, as though the cosmos itself were breathing out. For a long time, astronomers thought this expansion would slow. Gravity, the great embrace, should have pulled galaxies gently back together, like beads sliding toward the center of a string. But when scientists looked deeper, they saw something astonishing. The universe was not slowing down. It was speeding up. What could push galaxies apart in this way? What invisible hand could stretch the fabric of space itself? The answer, though still wrapped in mystery, has a name: dark energy. You cannot see it. You cannot touch it. Yet it fills the universe, making up nearly 70% of everything. It does not shine like stars, does not bend like matter, does not reveal itself directly, and yet its effect is unmistakable. Dark energy is the quiet push, the unseen breath that makes the cosmos expand faster and faster with every passing moment. Imagine holding a balloon. You blow gently, filling it with air. At first, the rubber stretches slowly, but then, as you keep breathing into it, the surface expands faster, moving outward in all directions. Dark energy acts like that invisible breath, a force that stretches space itself. You are living inside this cosmic balloon, carried outward with every moment. Take a slow inhale now. Feel your chest expand, the air filling the space within you. Then exhale, letting the breath drift away. Expansion is not foreign to you. It is part of your every moment. The universe mirrors your breath, and your breath mirrors the universe. You and the cosmos are woven into the same rhythm. Dark energy has no roar. It has no visible wave. Its power lies in its silence, in its consistency. Day after day, century after century, it stretches the fabric of reality itself. The galaxies drift like lanterns released on a river, carried ever farther apart. You can imagine yourself floating among them, watching as the space between lights grows wider and wider, not in loneliness, but in patient unfolding. Scientists first uncovered this secret in the 1990s, when two groups of researchers studied distant supernovae, exploding stars that shine with predictable brightness. By comparing their light across vast distances, astronomers discovered that the universe's expansion was accelerating. This was not what they expected. It was as if the cosmos carried a hidden engine, one that could not be seen but could never be denied. The discovery was both unsettling and beautiful. It told us that the universe is stranger than we imagined. Emptiness is not passive, it is active, alive, pushing everything outward. Space is not still, space is breathing. Imagine lying on your back in a field and watching clouds drift apart. At first they seem close, but as the minutes pass, gaps widen between them. The sky does not push with visible hands, yet the distance grows. That is how dark energy moves, subtle, invisible, unstoppable. Let this thought calm you. Even what you cannot see has presence. Even what you cannot measure with your senses shapes your world. Dark energy is a reminder that the unseen is not empty. It is alive with meaning. There is mystery here too. What is dark energy? Is it a property of space itself, an intrinsic breath of the cosmos? Or is it something deeper, something beyond our present understanding? Scientists do not yet know. They search with instruments, measure with precision, build maps of the sky to trace its effect. But the truth remains quiet, waiting to be understood. And in that quiet, you can find peace. The unknown is not a threat. It is a lullaby. The universe does not rush to reveal all its secrets. It lets them unfold slowly, like petals opening in the first light of dawn. You too can rest in that pace. You do not need to know everything tonight. It is enough to lie here, feeling the gentle widening of the cosmos, the quiet push of dark energy carrying you outward with all else. Picture yourself drifting at the edge of a galaxy, watching the stars slowly move farther away. There is no sound, no hurry, only the soft widening of space. You are carried with it, not left behind, not excluded. You belong to the expansion. You are part of its endless unfolding. Your breath slows, your thoughts soften. You feel yourself expand with each inhale, release with each exhale, as if your body and the universe are sharing the same rhythm. The emptiness around you is not still but breathing, and you are breathing with it. Dark energy is quiet, but its effects are vast. Someday, far in the future, galaxies may drift so far apart that their light no longer reaches one another. The night sky itself may grow lonelier, darker, quieter. But even then, the memory of connection will remain. The stars you see tonight, the galaxies you cannot see but know are there, are all moving in harmony, carried by the same unseen tide. Let yourself rest in that tide now. Imagine the quiet push beneath you like a slow current in deep water. It does not hurry, it does not jolt. It moves with patience, with steadiness, with eternity. You float upon it, safe and unshaken. The truth of dark energy is that the universe is not static, it is alive, always becoming, always expanding. Emptiness itself is not stillness but growth. And as you close your eyes, you realize you too are expanding. Not in distance, but in awareness, in calm, in the quiet space within. And just as sleep begins to gather around you, another question flickers softly. If even the void carries restless motion, what lies beneath that restlessness? What trembling at the smallest scales weaves the fabric of reality itself? In the next chapter, you will drift into that hidden dance, the shimmering movements of quantum fluctuations, where even silence is never truly still. You have felt the universe expand, a gentle widening powered by dark energy's silent push. Yet if you shift your gaze from the largest scales to the smallest, you discover another truth. Even stillness trembles. Space itself is never perfectly calm. Beneath the quiet lies a ceaseless shimmer, a dance too subtle for the eye yet woven into every moment of existence. This dance is called quantum fluctuations. At first, the name feels complex, heavy with science, but picture instead a field of tall grass at dusk. From a distance it looks still, painted in soft green strokes beneath the fading light. But as you watch closely, you notice each blade swaying slightly, trembling in the faintest breeze. The field is never truly still. In the same way, the fabric of space is always moving, quivering with energy at scales so small they defy imagination. Scientists describe these fluctuations as temporary changes in energy, a restless vibration that can never be fully stilled. Even in the vacuum, even at absolute zero, the coldest state possible, this trembling remains. It is the universe's refusal to stop breathing, its hidden heartbeat. Imagine yourself lying on a calm pond at night. The surface appears flat, reflecting the stars, but beneath, tiny ripples pass quietly, too small to disturb your rest, yet always there. Quantum fluctuations are like those ripples, stirring the stillness of space itself. These tremors are not random noise, they are the foundation upon which the universe builds. From tiny fluctuations in the early cosmos, galaxies grew. The faint patterns you met in the cosmic background, those delicate ripples across the sky, were seeded by quantum trembles magnified by cosmic expansion. From the smallest dance, the largest structures emerged. Rest for a moment with that thought. Every galaxy, every star, every planet, even your body began as a whisper of trembling in the early vacuum. You are here because silence could not stay still. Take a slow breath. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. Your own body mirrors this cosmic truth. Even when you are most calm, most still, your cells move, your heart beats, your atoms vibrate. Stillness is never empty. Stillness is always alive. There is something soothing in this realization. You do not need to fight for motion. It is always within you. You do not need to resist silence. Silence itself carries music. You, like the universe, are made of gentle trembling, the dance of existence woven into your being. Scientists sometimes speak of the uncertainty principle, a rule of quantum physics that says you can never know both the position and energy of a particle with perfect precision. Things at the smallest scales resist absolute definition. They blur, shimmer, refuse to sit still. Rather than being a flaw, this uncertainty is the essence of reality. The cosmos is not rigid but fluid, not fixed but flowing. Picture fireflies in a meadow. You try to watch one, but before you can pin its location in your gaze, it has flickered away, only to reappear elsewhere. The meadow is alive with glowing uncertainty, and that uncertainty is beautiful. Quantum fluctuations behave in much the same way, appearing, shifting, disappearing, dancing in patterns too intricate to capture. You sink deeper into calm as you imagine this. The universe is not stiff, not immovable. It breathes, it quivers, it dances, and you are part of that dance. At times in life you may feel unsettled, restless, uncertain. The trembling of thought can seem like disorder, but the universe shows you another way to see it. Restlessness can be creative, trembling can be fertile. Uncertainty is not emptiness, it is possibility. Just as galaxies were born from quantum fluctuations, so too can new beginnings arise from the trembles within you. You drift deeper into stillness, though you know that stillness itself is alive. Your body rests, but the dance continues, inside you and all around you. And rather than disturb your peace, this hidden motion carries you, like waves rocking a boat on gentle waters. Quantum fluctuations remind you that perfection is not frozen. Life is never a statue, never a fixed shape. It is always moving, always shimmering. You too are never fixed. You are always becoming. Let this truth comfort you now. You do not need to hold yourself rigid. You can allow yourself to breathe, to tremble, to change. Like the vacuum, you're alive with hidden movement. And that is enough. Imagine yourself lying within the very fabric of space, watching as it quivers gently, like silk stirred by a faint wind. The dance is endless, patient, eternal. You are safe within it. You belong to it. You are its expression. Your eyes grow heavy. Your breathing deepens. The trembling of the universe becomes the trembling of your thoughts. Softer, lighter, fading into quiet. You drift, not into stillness alone, but into the living silence that always hums beneath. And as sleep begins to gather around you, a question lingers softly. If the fabric of space itself trembles, what happens when great cosmic events ripple through it? In the next chapter, you will float upon those ripples, gravitational waves, the gentle stretching of space-time itself rocking the universe like a cradle. You are resting in the trembling silence of quantum fluctuations lulled by their hidden dance. Yet the universe does not only quiver at its smallest scales, it also ripples on the grandest stage of all, the very fabric of space and time, the canvas upon which everything exists, can stretch and wheeze like a living sea. These ripples are called gravitational waves. Close your eyes and imagine space-time not as emptiness, but as a vast, invisible ocean. Galaxies float like islands upon it, stars drift like lanterns, and planets circle like boats on gentle tides. Most of the time the sea seems calm, but when massive objects collide, black holes spiraling together, neutron stars colliding in fire, they stir the ocean with mighty waves. Those waves travel outward endlessly, rippling through the fabric of reality itself. You cannot see these waves with your eyes. You cannot feel them against your skin. They are faint, subtle, stretching and squeezing space itself by less than the width of an atom. And yet, like the gentlest rocking of a cradle, they move everything. You right now are being rocked by them. The whole Earth rises and falls ever so slightly as gravitational waves pass through. Take a slow breath. As you inhale, imagine space-time stretching. As you exhale, imagine it settling again. You are breathing with the universe's ripples, though you may not notice them. Their presence is constant, soft, and profound. The discovery of these waves was a dream long before it became real. A century or ago, Albert Einstein predicted them, describing space-time as flexible, able to bend and ripple under the influence of mass. For decades, scientists listened in vain, straining to detect the faintest echo. And then, in 2015, the first waves were heard. 2 black holes had collided more than 1 billion light-years away, shaking space-time like a drum. Instruments on Earth caught their passing, the faintest whisper of a cosmic symphony. Imagine that moment. A collision of unimaginable power, yet by the time its waves reached us, they were quieter than a breeze, and still we heard them. The universe had spoken in ripples, and we had learned to listen. Picture yourself floating on a raft in a dark ocean. The water seems calm, but beneath you comes a swell, gentle and slow, lifting you, lowering you. You are carried, rocked, comforted. Gravitational waves move the cosmos in just this way. Even silence carries motion. Even stillness carries song. These waves tell us stories we could not otherwise know. They carry news from places too far, too hidden, too dark for light to escape. Black holes, which swallow all light, cannot be seen directly, but their collisions send out ripples we can hear. The universe, it seems, always finds a way to share its secrets. Rest in that thought. Nothing is ever truly silent. Even the darkest corners of existence speak in waves. You only need to listen with patience to notice the subtle rocking beneath you. Take another slow breath. As your lungs expand, picture space-time itself expanding with you. As your breath falls, space-time contracts again. The rhythm of your body joins the rhythm of the cosmos. You're part of the same fabric, moving with it, never separate. Gravitational waves remind you that connection is everywhere. A collision billions of light-years away can reach you here, now, as you lie in rest. You are never isolated. You are linked across time and distance by ripples in space-time itself. Let this realization calm you. You belong to a universe that breathes, ripples, sings. Its waves cradle you, steady and unbroken. You are carried within a motion so vast, so gentle, you do not even need to notice it. You can simply trust it, the way you trust the ground to hold you, the way you trust your bed to support your rest. The waves are faint, but their persistence is infinite. They pass through galaxies, through stars, through planets, through you. Nothing blocks them, nothing stops them. They are the most patient of travelers, carrying messages across eternity. Imagine yourself lying in that great ocean, rocked gently as ripples pass. You cannot see their source, but you feel their calm motion, soft and endless. Each wave is a whisper from the universe telling you are part of something vast, something connected, something alive. Your thoughts quiet as you rest in this rocking. You no longer need to search for meaning. The waves themselves are meaning, presence expressed through motion, silence that refuses to be still. And as you sink deeper into calm, you sense the next truth waiting softly ahead. If space can ripple on the scale of galaxies, what about the spaces within you, the hollows inside atoms, the emptiness in your very body? Perhaps the void is closer than you think, woven not just across the cosmos but within your own form. In the next chapter you will turn inward, into the space between atoms, where emptiness lives at the heart of matter itself. There you will discover that the same vast silence stretches within you, and that you too are built from gentle hollows, filled with quiet possibility. You have floated with gravitational waves, rocked gently by the universe's ripples. Now let us turn inward, away from galaxies and stars, into the smallest scales of your own being. For within you lies another kind of space, a vast emptiness hidden in plain sight. It lives not between stars, but between the particles that form your very body. Atoms are the building blocks of matter. Every breath you take, every cell in your body, every drop of water and grain of sand, all are made from atoms. To the imagination, atoms often seem like tiny solid marbles, tightly packed together to form the substance of the world. But the truth is far more spacious, far more astonishing. An atom is mostly empty. Picture a cathedral, vast and echoing. Place a single grain of rice in the very centre of that cathedral. That is the nucleus of an atom, the dense heart made of protons and neutrons. Then imagine a small moth flying in great circles near the farthest edge of the walls. That moth represents the electron, light and quick, orbiting far from the nucleus. And all the space in between? Empty. This is the true structure of matter. The solid world you touch is, at its foundation, almost entirely hollow. Pause with that thought. Touch your hand against the surface beside you. It feels firm, unmoving, reliable. Yet beneath your skin, beneath the atoms of your bones, beneath the atoms of the surface itself, lies vast space. What feels solid is mostly emptiness, held together by invisible forces. Take a slow breath. Let it remind you, what seems solid may not be. Emptiness can carry strength. Nothingness can hold everything. The electrons that drift around the nucleus are not like tiny planets orbiting a sun, circling on predictable paths. Instead, they exist as clouds of probability, shimmering regions where they may be found. They blur and flicker, never fixed, never perfectly still. The hollows of the atom are not empty voids, but places of potential, alive with trembling uncertainty. Imagine standing in a great hall filled with drifting mist. You cannot point to one exact place and say, "Here is the mist." Instead, it moves and sways, present everywhere at once, thick in some regions, thin in others. That is how electrons behave, not in precise circles, but in hazy clouds, filling emptiness with presence that is never still. This space within atoms is not wasted. It is what allows matter to exist as we know it. If atoms were solid through and through, matter could not combine, could not move, could not breathe. The space makes room. The emptiness gives freedom. It allows the dance of molecules, the chemistry of life, the breath of stars. Think of music. A melody is not made of continuous sound alone. It is shaped by pauses, rests, silences between the notes. Without emptiness, music would be noise. In the same way, without the space within atoms, existence itself could not sing. Rest in that truth. Emptiness is not absence. Emptiness is structure. Emptiness is balance. When you look at your body, you see form. When you look deeper, you find atoms. And when you look deeper still, you find emptiness. Yet that emptiness is not hollow. It is alive with movement, with forces, with energy that binds particles together. The space within atoms is not dead space. It is the breath of matter itself. Take another breath now. As your lungs fill, imagine the atoms of air entering you. Oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide. Each one carries vast space within, and yet together they sustain your life. You are breathing emptiness. And emptiness keeps you alive. This realization brings comfort. Often, emptiness in life feels frightening. You fear hollowness, silence, absence, yet the universe shows you another way to see it. Emptiness is not loss. Emptiness is foundation. Without it, there could be no form, no life, no you. Picture again the cathedral with its single grain of rice at the centre. Imagine walking through that space, echoing and vast, filled with invisible forces binding everything together. You are walking inside an atom, inside the building block of reality. The walls rise endlessly around you. The air hums with energy. You realize that what appears solid from afar is, at its core, spacious and free. The atoms of your body number in the trillions upon trillions, each one mostly empty, each one alive with motion. You are, in truth, a constellation of hollows, a universe of spaces bound together by invisible threads. You are more spacious than you appear, more open than you imagine. Let this thought settle gently within you. The same emptiness that stretches between stars also lives within you. You carry the cosmos in your bones, not as metaphor but as truth. The hollows of space echo inside the hollows of atoms. The vastness of the universe is mirrored in the vastness of your being. Your breathing grows slower now. You feel your body soften into the mattress, your thoughts drifting like electrons in their hazy clouds. You're not fixed, not rigid, not closed. You're spacious, open, filled with quiet possibility. Scientists call the space within atoms the atomic void. But void is too simple a word. It is not nothing. It is potential. It is freedom. It is the pause that makes the music, the silence that makes the song, the stillness that allows the dance. And as you sink deeper into rest, you wonder, if even the atoms within you are filled with silent hollows, what else moves unseen through this emptiness? What secret rivers flow without touch, crossing your body and the cosmos alike? In the next chapter, you will meet one such river, the stream of neutrinos, ghostly travellers that pass through you by the billions every second, silent but constant, as if the universe itself is breathing through your being. You are resting now in the hollows of atoms, aware that emptiness fills the very matter of your body. Yet through this emptiness flows something even more mysterious. Invisible rivers of particles that pass through you, quietly, constantly, without end. They are called neutrinos, and though you cannot see them, they are always with you. Billions of them move through your body each second. They arrive from the heart of the sun, born in its fiery nuclear reactions. They come from distant stars and galaxies, from supernovae, exploding in brilliance, from the very birth of the cosmos itself. They slip through the earth, through your skin, through your atoms, without pause, and yet you never feel them. Imagine standing in the middle of a quiet stream. Water flows all around you, brushing against your legs, carrying leaves and ripples downstream. You cannot stop it, you cannot catch it. The flow is constant, patient, unstoppable. Neutrinos are like that stream, but far gentler, so subtle that you remain unaware of their passing. They are the secret light, the invisible current flowing through all things. Take a slow breath. As air enters your lungs, imagine neutrinos streaming through you as well, not carried by air, but passing directly through matter. They move through mountains, through oceans, through the entire Earth, as if it were no more than a shadow. Nothing halts them. They are the universe's most elusive travellers. Scientists call neutrinos ghost particles. They barely interact with matter, gliding through atoms without leaving a trace. To catch even a handful of them, researchers build vast underground detectors, giant tanks filled with pure water or special liquids, shielded from the noise of other particles. In the rarest of moments, a neutrino will collide, releasing a faint spark of light. That spark is a glimpse of the unseen river. Picture that now, a single flash in deep silence, like a firefly glowing once in the stillness of night. That spark reveals what usually passes unnoticed, a reminder that invisibility is not absence. The world is alive with currents you cannot see. Rest in that thought. Your body, your room, the quiet night, all are immersed in a sea of neutrinos. The emptiness around you is not empty at all. It is filled with invisible light, travelling endlessly, whispering stories from the stars. Neutrinos remind you that the universe is always in motion, even when it feels still. As you lie here, thoughts softening, they stream through you. They connect you to the sun above, to distant galaxies, to explosions billions of years old. You are part of their journey, even in sleep. There is comfort in this hidden connection. Often you may feel small, separate, alone, but neutrinos tell another story. They flow through everyone, everywhere, uniting all beings in an invisible embrace. The same particles that pass through you pass through oceans, mountains, forests, and skies. They link you to the entire cosmos with threads too fine to touch, yet too constant to break. Imagine now that you're transparent, like a figure of glass. Through your chest, through your arms, through your very bones, streams of neutrinos flow like silken rivers of light. They do not disturb you. They do not weigh upon you. They pass gently, endlessly, like breath through the lungs of the universe. You are not their obstacle. You are part of their path. Take another slow breath. Feel your body heavy and calm. The neutrinos remind you you can allow life to flow. You do not need to resist. You do not need to hold tightly. Like these ghostly travellers, thoughts can pass through without anchoring, without clinging. You can rest, spacious and open, letting the currents move through you without fear. Scientists believe neutrinos carry clues to some of the deepest mysteries of physics. Their tiny masses, their strange transformations, may help us understand why matter exists at all, why the universe is built as it is. The ghost particles may hold the secret to why there is something rather than nothing. Let that mystery soothe you. You do not need to solve it tonight. It is enough to know that even the faintest, most elusive presence can shape the whole. Even what seems invisible can carry truth. Your body grows still, your breathing slows. Neutrinos flow through you as softly as dreams, linking you to the stars without end. You are part of the river, part of the secret light, part of the story carried across billions of years. And as you drift towards sleep, one thought rests gently on the horizon. If ghostly neutrinos can flow so freely through matter, what other invisible messengers might whisper through the void? In the next chapter, you will listen to the steady rain of cosmic rays, high-energy travelers from across the universe, reminding you that emptiness is never silent. It is always alive with motion. You have felt ghostly neutrinos pass through you, silent travelers that never pause. Yet the universe sends another kind of messenger, one less shy, more insistent, a steady rain of energy from the depths of space. These are cosmic rays, high-energy particles that stream endlessly through the void, brushing against Earth and your body with every passing moment. Imagine standing in a quiet forest as dawn breaks. The air is still, yet faint drops of mist fall from the branches one by one, almost too gentle to notice. Cosmic rays arrive in much the same way, a constant drizzle, invisible to your senses but always present. The emptiness of space is not bare, it is alive with this subtle rain. Most cosmic rays are protons, the same building blocks found in the nuclei of atoms. They are hurled into motion by violent events, exploding stars, swirling black holes, shock waves from galaxies colliding. Born in fire, they wander the universe for millions of years before brushing softly against your world. Take a slow breath. As air enters your lungs, imagine tiny messengers arriving with it, ancient particles that began their journey long before you were born. They drift through space for eons, only to meet you here, now, in the quiet of your rest. You are their destination, even if only for a moment. Cosmic rays strike Earth constantly. Most are absorbed by the upper atmosphere, colliding with molecules of air, creating showers of smaller particles that cascade downward like invisible rain. By the time they reach the ground, their force is softened, like raindrops after a storm cloud's fury. You are touched by them every day, yet they never disturb you. They pass through as gently as whispers. Picture yourself lying beneath a sky you cannot see, a sky alive with invisible drizzle. Each particle is a note in a song older than stars, carrying with it the memory of distant explosions. The Earth wears this rain like a cloak, protecting you with its atmosphere, softening the cosmic storm into a quiet, constant whisper. Scientists study cosmic rays to learn about the universe's most energetic events. They build detectors high in mountains or deep underground, watching for the showers of particles that fall when cosmic rays strike. Each spark of light, each faint trace is a clue to origins billions of light years away. Cosmic rays are messengers without language, but their paths tell stories of dying stars, of galaxies colliding, of the universe itself in motion. Rest in that thought. You are never cut off from the cosmos. Even as you sleep, particles from distant galaxies find you, touch you, pass through you. Emptiness is not silence, it is conversation, subtle and unbroken. Take another slow breath. Feel the air grow heavier in your chest. Your body softer against the bed. You're open to the quiet rain of the universe. You're part of its exchange, listening to whispers older than Earth. Imagine yourself standing on a wide plain as night falls. The stars appear above you, countless and steady. Now imagine that with every starlight, an unseen drop of energy falls too, cosmic rays raining silently across the sky. You stand beneath both lights, one visible, one hidden. Together they weave the night, reminding you that even the dark is alive with touch. Cosmic rays also remind us that what seems empty is full of journeys. Each particle carries with it an unimaginable path, crossing light years, weaving through galaxies, guided by magnetic fields like leaves in a river. By the time they reach you, they have travelled farther than you can dream. You are a resting point on their endless voyage. Let that realization soothe you. Just as these particles move constantly yet arrive softly, so too do your own thoughts. They may begin with fire, with energy, but by the time they reach the quiet of night, they soften into whispers, fading gently as you rest. The rain of cosmic rays is constant, but it does not overwhelm. It is quiet, like background music you barely notice until you pause to listen. And when you do, it reminds you that even silence is filled with presence. You are lying now in the soft drizzle of the universe. You cannot see it, but you can imagine it. A steady fall of particles brushing against you, harmless, gentle, endless. They are proof that the universe is not far away. It touches you every moment, even in sleep. Your eyes grow heavy as you rest in this thought. The cosmos does not forget you. It speaks to you in whispers, in rain, in light you cannot see. You are part of its conversation, whether you listen or not. And as you sink deeper into calm, another question forms softly at the edge of thought. If the void can rain with particles, what hidden shapes might also stretch across it? What unseen tension weaves through space, bending and curving even where there is nothing? In the next chapter, you will drift into that hidden structure, the gravitational field itself, the silent tension that shapes the emptiness into curves and hollows, guiding the dance of stars. You have felt the gentle rain of cosmic rays, soft whispers falling across the sky. Now turn your attention not to what moves through space, but to space itself. Beneath every star, every planet, every galaxy lies an invisible structure, strong yet pliant. This structure is space-time, and it carries a hidden tension, a quiet force that shapes everything you know. Imagine a sheet of silk stretched wide in the dark. Place a pebble on it and the silk bends gently. Place a stone and the curve deepens. Place a heavy sphere and the fabric dips like a well. This is how space-time responds to mass. Every star, every planet, every atom rested upon this fabric, bending it with its weight. Gravity is not a pull from afar, but the shape of space-time itself. Close your eyes and picture Earth, heavy and round, pressing into this invisible silk. The moon circles, not because Earth reaches out with invisible hands, but because the curve beneath it guides its path. Like a marble circling a bowl, the moon follows the dip of space-time. You too are held in this curve, carried gently toward the Earth's center. Gravity is simply your response to the shape of space. Take a slow breath. As you exhale, imagine yourself sinking softly into that curve, cradled by the invisible fabric. You are not falling, you are being held. The hidden tension of space-time is a quiet embrace. This idea was revealed more than a century ago by Albert Einstein, who showed that space and time are not separate, but woven together. A star does not just shine in space, it shapes the very stage upon which it rests. A planet does not simply move through time, it bends time itself as it travels. The void is not empty, it is a living fabric stretched and curved by everything within it. Think of a hammock in the breeze. You cannot see the threads that hold it, yet you trust their strength. You lie down and the hammock bends, wrapping around you. The curve itself carries you. Space-time behaves the same way. You're always lying in its embrace. Rest for a moment with that image. You're not separate from the fabric. You're woven into it. The atoms of your body bend space-time just as surely as planets do, though your curve is small. Even your presence shapes the cosmos. The hidden tension of space-time explains why light bends near stars, why planets orbit in steady paths, why galaxies swirl in vast spirals. It is the silent architect of motion, the unseen hand that guides without touch. Emptiness is not passive, it is sculpted, moulded, alive with form. Imagine walking across a frozen lake. The surface looks flat, but beneath your feet it bends, curving under your weight. You cannot see the curve, but you can trust its support. Space-time behaves the same way, bending under mass, shaping paths steady and unseen. Take another breath. Feel yourself resting heavier into the bed beneath you. The mattress yields, curving gently around your weight. Gravity is no different. It is simply the fabric of space-time curving to meet you, holding you without effort. There is comfort here. The universe itself is designed to cradle you. Every curve of space-time, every hidden tension, is a reminder that you are not falling through emptiness. You are always supported, always held. Scientists measure this tension with great precision. They watch stars that orbit invisible black holes, their paths bent by curves too steep for light to escape. They trace the arcs of galaxies through the lensing of distant light, watching space-time bend beams like glass bends sunlight. Each observation is proof of the invisible fabric, proof that the void is not void at all. You may not see it, but you can feel it. Every step you take, every breath you draw, every moment you rest is shaped by gravity. And gravity is space-time's whisper. Imagine now that you are floating above the Earth, watching its blue curve against the darkness. Beneath you, space-time dips gently, guiding oceans, mountains, clouds. The Earth is not suspended in nothing. It is suspended in a fabric that holds it as tenderly as a nest holds an egg. Your thoughts slow with this image. You realize that you too are held in this same way. You are never drifting without anchor. The hidden tension of space-time is always beneath you, shaping your path, supporting your rest. And as your eyes grow heavy, another question stirs like a soft ripple. If space-time itself bends and curves, could it also carry its own restless hum, even when all else is still? In the next chapter, you will drift into the mystery of zero-point energy, the quiet vibration that never ceases, even in the deepest silence of the void. You have felt the hidden tension of space-time, the invisible fabric bending and curving beneath stars and bodies alike. Now imagine what happens if you strip everything away. Remove the galaxies, the stars, the planets. Remove the gas and dust between them. Remove even the faint whispers of light that still glow from the dawn of time. What remains? At first, you might think the answer is nothing. Pure stillness, pure silence. But the universe does not allow nothingness. Even when all else is removed, space is never truly empty. It hums with a faint vibration, a quiet restlessness that cannot be stilled. This is called zero-point energy. Close your eyes and imagine a string stretched tightly in the dark. Pluck it and it vibrates. Wait and it slows. Leave it untouched. And still, if you listen closely enough, you will hear a faint hum, a vibration that never fully disappears. That is how the vacuum behaves. It can never stop trembling, even at absolute zero. The coldest possible state when all ordinary motion should end, the vacuum carries this subtle pulse. This is the 0 point, the lowest energy state possible, where nothing more can be taken away. And yet even here, motion remains. It is the breath of existence that cannot be silenced. Take a slow breath now. Inhale and imagine the faint vibration of the vacuum flowing into you. Exhale and feel yourself resting into that rhythm. The pulse is so soft it cannot disturb you. Instead, it soothes, reminding you that life itself is woven into the hum of space. 0 point energy is a mystery, both delicate and profound. It is not energy you can light a lamp with, not warmth you can feel against your skin. It is subtler than that, a restless background that fills every corner of the cosmos. Imagine lying in a quiet room. The air feels still, but if you listen with care, you hear the faint buzz of electricity in the walls, the quiet ticking of pipes, the breath of the house itself. The room is never silent, neither is the universe. Scientists describe this restlessness as quantum fluctuations that never end. Even when particles vanish, the energy of the vacuum remains. It is like a heartbeat too soft to hear, yet always present. The silence of space is alive. There is comfort in this. Often in life you may long for complete stillness, complete quiet, but the truth is gentler. Stillness always carries life within it. Even when your body rests, your heart continues to beat, your lungs continue to breathe, your cells continue to renew. Sleep is not nothingness. It is motion slowed, softened, hidden. The universe rests in the same way, never fully still, always carrying its quiet hum. Picture yourself floating in an endless dark wrapped in silence. At first it feels empty, but as you drift, you begin to sense a faint vibration, like the lowest note of a song, resonating softly through the void. It does not frighten you. It comforts you. reminding you that you are not alone, that even the deepest emptiness carries presence. Zero-point energy is not just a curiosity. Some scientists believe it may play a role in the expansion of the universe, linked to the dark energy that pushes galaxies apart. Others wonder if it could hold the key to new technologies, new understandings of reality itself. But for you, here, now, it is simply a lullaby. The universe's way of telling you that even in silence, life continues. Take another slow breath. With each inhale, imagine drawing in the hum of the vacuum, gentle and steady. With each exhale, feel yourself rest deeper into calm, rocked by the faintest rhythm of existence. You are in tune with the cosmos, resonating with the quiet that fills everything. Zero-point energy also teaches patience. It reminds you that life is never erased, only softened. Even at the lowest point, when motion seems gone, a hum remains. So too in your own life. Even in moments that feel empty, you are never without presence. Beneath silence, there is always a pulse. Beneath stillness, always a heartbeat. Beneath rest, always a breath. Imagine standing in a great hall filled with silence. At first, you hear nothing, but as your ears adjust, you notice faint sounds, the whisper of air moving, the soft creak of wood, the distant hum of the world beyond. Silence, you realize, was never empty. It was simply waiting for you to listen. The 0 point is like that hall, always humming, always alive. Your body grows heavy now, your thoughts slow. You realize you are lying in the heartbeat of the cosmos itself, wrapped in the quiet restlessness of space. You do not need to search for meaning. The hum itself is meaning enough. Rest here in this thought. Emptiness is never empty. Even at its lowest it vibrates. Even at its stillest it breathes. Even at its coldest it warms. You are part of that endless hum, carried by it, soothed by it. And as you drift closer to sleep, another thought begins to glow at the edge of your mind. If even the deepest vacuum carries a hum, what about the thin veil of space just beyond Earth, where atoms linger in faint traces? In the next chapter you will rise into that delicate region, the thin atmosphere of space itself, where emptiness is textured, not bare, and silence holds the faintest touch of air. You have rested in the hum of 0 point energy, the vibration that never ceases even in silence. Now let us rise higher, past the comfort of clouds, past the steady pull of mountains and seas, to the place where Earth's atmosphere begins to fade. Here, you discover that space does not begin with a sharp boundary. It begins with a slow thinning, a gentle fading away, a veil that never fully disappears. Imagine climbing a mountain so high that the air feels faint, each breath thinner than the last. At the summit, the sky above is darker, the stars clearer, and yet the air remains fragile and weak. Continue upward in your mind, beyond airplanes, beyond balloons, beyond the orbit of satellites, and still you will find atoms drifting in quiet solitude. The atmosphere does not end, it only grows softer. Scientists call this fragile region the exosphere. It stretches thousands of kilometers above Earth, a realm where atoms of hydrogen and helium wander almost alone. They drift slowly, colliding rarely, like dust motes in a vast cathedral of night. To human eyes it seems empty, but emptiness here carries texture, a faint breath, a soft touch, a lingering presence. Close your eyes and imagine brushing your hand through that space. You feel almost nothing, yet something is there. A single atom passing, too small to see, too light to hold. The void is not bare, it carries whispers of matter, faint and patient. Take a slow breath now, inhale the thought of thin air, exhale into silence. You realize that even the highest reaches of space are not untouched. Earth's presence lingers, fading into the cosmos like perfume dissolving into the wind. There is comfort in this gradual fading. It shows you that boundaries are softer than they seem. The Earth does not end in a sharp line. It dissolves gently into space, its breath stretching outward until it blends with the universe itself. In the same way, your body does not end at your skin. Heat, breath, and presence extend beyond you, mingling with the world around. Nothing is truly separate. All boundaries are soft. Imagine lying on your back in a meadow as twilight deepens. The air above cools, and you feel the sky grow darker, the stars beginning to appear. The change is not sudden but gradual, softening with each passing minute. The atmosphere fades into night the same way it fades into space, slowly, patiently, without hurry. High above, in the exosphere, atoms drift free, touched by sunlight, sometimes escaping Earth's pull to join the solar wind. They are wanderers, leaving home quietly, carried into the endless dark. Yet even as they go, they remind us that the Earth is porous, open, breathing into the cosmos. The planet is not sealed but connected, its air stretching outward like a hand reaching into space. Take another breath. Feel your chest expand. Imagine that your own breath mingles with these drifting atoms, rising higher, lighter, until it too becomes part of the thin veil above. Your body, your breath, your life is not separate from the world. It is part of this slow exchange, this endless dissolving. Scientists study this region with care, for it holds clues to how Earth loses atmosphere over time, how particles escape to the solar wind, how planets evolve across billions of years. Yet for you, in this quiet moment, it is simply a reminder. Even what feels empty carries presence. Even the void is textured, alive with faint traces of what has come before. Picture yourself floating at the edge of the exosphere. Beneath you, Earth glows in blues and greens, wrapped in a thin halo of air. Above you, space stretches dark and endless, and around you a scattering of atoms drifts, blue and weightless, like snowflakes falling upward. You're suspended in between, not Earth, not space, but both. There is peace in this in-between. It teaches you that transition does not have to be sharp. It can be gradual, soft, natural. Just as day becomes night, just as waking becomes sleep, Earth becomes space in a slow, quiet dissolving. Your breathing slows as you rest in this realization. You're always in transition, always moving between states, always blending with what surrounds you. Boundaries are gentler than they seem. Emptiness is never sudden. It is a thinning, a softening, a quiet stretch into something greater. As you drift deeper into calm, you realize that even this thin atmosphere is touched by forces beyond Earth. The solar wind brushes it, magnetic fields guide it, cosmic rays pass through it. The exosphere is not isolated. It is woven into the greater fabric of space. And so are you. Rest in that truth now. You're not closed. You're open. You're part of a world that breathes into the universe, part of a universe that breathes into you. And as sleep draws nearer, one question flickers gently in your mind. If even the faintest regions of atmosphere hold whispers of matter, what about the vast spaces between galaxies? What does emptiness look like on the grandest scales? In the next chapter, you will drift into that silence, the space between galaxies where darkness stretches like an ocean and silence itself becomes a bridge. You have floated at the edge of Earth's breath, where the atmosphere thins into space like a veil dissolving into night. Now, drift farther still, far beyond the reach of planets and stars, past the arms of our Milky Way into the vast spaces between galaxies. Here, silence stretches wide and deep, a darkness more profound than any night sky you've ever seen. At first, this silence feels overwhelming. Galaxies lie scattered across the cosmos like islands in an endless ocean. Between them is distance so vast it defies ordinary thought. The light from one galaxy can take millions, even billions of years to cross the emptiness to another. Imagine the width of that ocean. Silent, patient, immeasurable. Take a slow breath. As you inhale, picture one galaxy glowing faintly at the edge of your vision. As you exhale, imagine another, far away, separated by an ocean of black. You float in between, carried by silence itself. This intergalactic space is not completely empty. It carries traces, thin gases spread across unimaginable distances, whispers of atoms left behind from ancient times. But compared to the crowded richness of galaxies, it feels bare, wide, and still. You are surrounded not by stars, but by the pause between their songs. And yet this pause has its own music. Imagine a symphony. Between each note lies silence, and without that silence the music would lose its shape. The space between galaxies plays the same role. It is the interval that gives meaning to the light, the rest that lets the song of the universe breathe. Scientists call this region the cosmic voids, enormous expanses with few galaxies, spread like bubbles in the large-scale web of the universe. These voids are not mistakes. They are part of the design, balancing the clusters and filaments of galaxies with wide stretches of silence. The cosmos is not crowded chaos. It is balanced, full of both light and pause. Imagine standing on the shore of a wide sea at night. You see lanterns glowing on the distant islands, separated by waves you cannot cross. The water between them seems empty, but it carries depth, life, and quiet presence. The silence between galaxies is the same, deep, alive, holding the shape of everything around it. Take another breath. Feel your body heavy against the bed, your mind lighter, drifting. You are suspended in this intergalactic ocean, rocked not by sound but by silence itself. The stillness does not press against you. It supports you, holds you, makes room for rest. The distances here are almost beyond imagining. Our nearest neighbour, the Andromeda Galaxy, lies more than 2 million light-years away. That means light, travelling at the fastest speed possible, takes 2 million years to reach us from there. In the silence between, whole civilizations could rise and fall before a single beam of light completes its journey. And yet you are connected to that light. Even across the void, galaxies share their glow. The silence does not divide, it connects. The emptiness is not barrier but bridge, the space across which light travels, carrying stories from one island of stars to another. Rest in that truth. Distance is not absence, silence is not separation. You are linked across the void just as galaxies are. The silence between galaxies also teaches humility. Our Milky Way, with its billions of stars, feels enormous. Yet when you see it suspended in the cosmic web, it is only one island among countless others. And between those islands lies more space than stars. The universe is built more from silence than from sound, more from emptiness than from matter. But that emptiness is not wasted. It gives shape, balance, rhythm. Just as the pause gives the song its beauty, the void gives the galaxies their presence. Without it, the universe would collapse into noise. Imagine now drifting through that silence, passing slowly between galaxies. Their faint halos glow like lighthouses on far-off shores. You do not hurry, the distance does not frighten you. It comforts you, because it gives you space to breathe, to rest, to be. Your body grows heavy, your thoughts quiet. You realize that the silence between galaxies mirrors the silence between your own thoughts. Just as the cosmos needs pauses between its stars, so your mind needs pauses between its ideas. Emptiness gives room for clarity. Silence gives room for peace. The intergalactic ocean is vast, but it is not lonely. It is full of connection, full of pathways for light, full of quiet presence. You belong here as much as you belong within a galaxy, for the silence is part of the whole. Take one last breath in this thought. As you exhale, feel the silence stretch around you, calm and endless. You're not lost in it. You're carried by it. And as you sink deeper towards sleep, another question rises softly in your mind. If silence itself stretches across galaxies, what else moves through it unseen? Could even light, so gentle, so soft, press upon matter, leaving a touch across the emptiness? In the next chapter, you will drift into the gentle pressure of starlight, discovering how even the quiet glow of stars carries weight, brushing against dust and sails in the endless dark. You have drifted in the silence between galaxies, carried by distances so wide they feel endless. Now turn your gaze back toward the light itself, the glow of stars, soft and steady, travelling through the void. Light may seem weightless, intangible, a mere shimmer in the darkness. Yet even the faintest beam carries a touch. Starlight, though gentle, presses. This idea may feel surprising. How can something so delicate, so insubstantial exert pressure? But the universe is woven with subtleties, and light is never truly weightless. It arrives as particles called photons, each one carrying momentum, the faintest push. Alone, a photon's pressure is almost nothing, but together, across the endless waves of starlight, their touch becomes real. Imagine standing in a meadow at dawn. The first rays of the sun brush against your skin. They bring warmth, yes, but they also bring the tiniest nudge. You cannot feel it, but it is there, as steady as a hand resting softly on your shoulder. Every star sends this touch outward, across space, pressing gently on everything it meets. Take a slow breath. Inhale the thought of light arriving, soft but steady. Exhale, and feel yourself relax, as if leaning into its embrace. You're always bathed in this pressure, though you cannot sense it. The void itself is alive with the subtle touch of light. Scientists call this effect radiation pressure. It is what makes the tails of comets stream away from the sun, brushed back by photons like strands of hair in the wind. It is what can push on thin sails in space, allowing spacecraft to travel without fuel, carried only by the pressure of sunlight. The gentle touch of light becomes propulsion, a way of moving across the stars. Imagine a great sail, thin as silk, stretched wide in the dark. A star's light falls upon it, and slowly, patiently it begins to drift forward. No engine roars, no fuel burns, only light itself carries it. This is the power of starlight's pressure, not forceful, not violent, but steady, eternal. Rest in that image. You too are moved by the subtleties. Your life is shaped not only by storms but by whispers, not only by great forces but by gentle touches. The universe reminds you that even what feels weightless can leave an imprint. Take another breath. Imagine photons arriving from distant stars, brushing your skin like the lightest feathers, too soft to feel yet constant. You are part of their journey, part of the endless motion of light across space. There is beauty in this truth. What seems intangible can shape reality. A comet's path, a spacecraft's voyage, even the dust between stars, all respond to the touch of light. The universe is not driven only by gravity or collision, but also by the softest of pressures. Think of your own life. Often you may believe only great efforts matter. Yet small touches, a kind word, a gentle glance, a moment of quiet presence that carry weight too. They move you sometimes more deeply than force ever could. You, like the universe, are shaped by subtleties. Picture yourself now lying beneath a canopy of stars. Their light falls upon you, invisible pressure resting across your body. It does not weigh you down. It lifts you, reminding you that you are touched by the cosmos itself. Every photon that arrives has travelled unimaginable distances, only to brush gently against you. Your thoughts grow lighter as you rest in this awareness. You're not separate from the stars. Their pressure is upon you always, subtle, unbroken, eternal. Even in silence, you are never untouched. Scientists dream of journeys powered only by this pressure. Great sails drifting outward from Earth, carried on the breath of starlight to other worlds, other suns. The same touch that streams through your window at dawn could one day carry explorers across galaxies. Light itself becomes a wind, and space becomes a sea. Imagine yourself aboard such a vessel. The sail stretches wide above you, gleaming softly. No engines roar, no flames burn, only starlight falls, and slowly, silently you drift forward, carried by photons. You are rocked not by waves of water, but by waves of light. The journey is patient, but it never ceases. This is the promise of radiation pressure. Small, steady touch becomes great motion over time. In your own life too, patience carries weight. Quiet persistence moves mountains. Gentle presence shapes paths. You're carried forward not always by force, but by the softest winds. Take another slow breath. Inhale, and imagine the warmth of starlight filling you. Exhale, and feel yourself resting in its pressure. The universe is not cold, not empty. It is alive with the touch of light, steady as a heartbeat, endless as the stars. As your eyes grow heavy, one thought drifts softly into your mind. If starlight itself presses gently upon the void, what invisible threads might also stretch through space, unseen yet powerful? In the next chapter you will drift into those hidden patterns, the magnetic threads of the cosmos, weaving galaxies together like silk, stitching stars into the fabric of night. You have felt the gentle pressure of starlight, soft photons pressing on dust and sails across the void. Now let us wander deeper into the unseen, to something even more mysterious, the magnetic fields that stretch across the cosmos. They are invisible threads, weaving through galaxies, binding stars, and guiding particles as if the universe was stitched together by a loom of hidden silk. At first, the idea of magnetic fields may remind you of childhood, small magnets on a fridge, iron filings aligning into strange patterns. But in space, magnetism is grander, quieter, and far more subtle. These magnetic threads do not simply hold paper to metal. They shape entire galaxies. They guide the flows of cosmic rays, sculpt the tails of comets, and influence the birth of stars. Imagine holding a piece of cloth in your hands. Though it feels solid, it is woven from countless threads, each crossing and binding with another. Without those threads, the cloth would fall apart. The cosmos, too, has its weave. Magnetic fields are the hidden stitches, keeping the vast design connected. Close your eyes and picture the Milky Way, our galaxy. To the eye, it looks like a swirl of stars glowing with rivers of light. But beneath that glow lies an unseen lattice of magnetism, stretching from arm to arm, threading through dust and gas, shaping their flow. Without these threads, the galaxy would unravel. With them, it holds its form, balanced and alive. Take a slow breath. Inhale and imagine the threads drawing through you. Exhale and feel yourself part of the weave. You're not separate from the fabric. You're one strand among billions, held gently in place. Magnetic fields are not visible, but they reveal themselves through their influence. When charged particles pass through space, they spiral along these lines, like dancers following invisible paths. Cosmic rays, those high-energy messengers, are guided by the magnetic threads, their journeys curved and redirected. Even the faint gas that fills galaxies feels their presence, pulled into shapes that follow the unseen design. Rest in that thought. The universe is guided by patterns you cannot see. Your own life, too, is shaped by invisible forces: love, memory, breath, hope. You do not always see them, but you feel their pull, their direction, their quiet strength. Scientists have learned to map these hidden threads. They watch light from distant dust grains, which align themselves with magnetic fields, their glow polarized like ripples in water. They trace the bending of charged particles, the streaming of cosmic plasma. Piece by piece, the pattern emerges, galaxies stitched with magnetism, clusters bound by invisible cords, even the great voids touched by faint threads. Imagine now that you're floating within such a web. All around you stretch strands of lightless silk, glowing only in your imagination. You drift among them, not entangled but supported, like a child cradled in a net. The threads do not restrain you. They hold you steady in the quiet sea of space. Take another breath. Each inhale reminds you of connection. Each exhale reminds you of support. You are woven into the cosmos, not by accident, but by design. The Earth itself is wrapped in such threads. Its magnetic field shields you from the solar wind, deflecting charged particles that stream from the sun. Without it, life would be stripped bare by radiation. The auroras, those dancing curtains of light near the poles, are the visible traces of this magnetic shield, where particles spiral down the lines and collide with air, painting the sky in green and violet fire. Even here on Earth, the magnetic weave protects, shapes, and sings. Think of that the next time you see the northern or southern lights. You're witnessing the invisible become visible, the threads glowing briefly in the night. They remind you that unseen forces surround you always, guiding, shielding, holding you close. There is comfort in knowing that emptiness is never unsupported. Space is not fragile, not bare. It is stitched with threads stronger than steel, softer than breath, endless as time. You rest within them now, lying gently in the cradle of the universe. Your thoughts soften as you imagine the vast web of magnetism stretching everywhere. It crosses galaxies, it winds through clusters, it reaches even into the faintest voids. Like a cosmic loom, it weaves stars, dust, and particles into patterns too great to see at once. You too are part of that loom, a single thread in an infinite design. Let that realization soothe you. You belong. You are not drifting alone in emptiness. You are woven into the fabric, supported by threads you cannot see but can always trust. Take one last slow breath. Imagine the invisible cords stretching through you, binding you to Earth, to stars, to galaxies, to the universe itself. You are connected. You are held. And as your eyes grow heavy, another question rises like a gentle star on the horizon. If invisible magnetism holds galaxies together, what unseen substance holds the very universe in its shape? In the next chapter, you will meet this mystery, the dark matter that binds galaxies, a silent hand shaping the cosmos, unseen yet undeniable. You have rested in the magnetic threads of the cosmos, unseen lines weaving galaxies together. Now drift into another mystery, one even greater, one that holds most of the universe in its quiet grip. This is dark matter, the hidden substance we cannot see, yet without it galaxies would scatter like sparks in the wind. At first glance, galaxies appear whole and self-contained. Billions of stars orbit together, spiraling in luminous arms. To the eye, they seem steady, bound by their own gravity. But when scientists studied their motion, they discovered a puzzle. The stars on the edges of galaxies move too quickly. If only visible matter were present, the galaxies should have flown apart. Something unseen was holding them together. That unseen presence is dark matter. It does not glow like stars, does not absorb light like dust, does not interact with photons at all. To telescopes it is invisible, yet its gravity is undeniable. Like a silent hand, it holds galaxies in place, binding stars together, shaping clusters, sculpting the large-scale web of the universe. Imagine a lantern hanging in the night. You see its glow, steady and bright, but you do not see the rope that holds it. Dark matter is that rope, unseen, but essential. Without it, the lantern would fall, the light would scatter, the pattern would dissolve. Take a slow breath. Inhale the thought of unseen strength. Exhale into trust. You are carried, just as galaxies are carried, by supports you cannot see but always feel. Scientists estimate that dark matter makes up about 85% of all matter in the universe. This means that most of what exists does not shine, does not reveal itself. The visible world is only a fraction of the whole. Stars, planets, people. All we see is just the tip of an iceberg. Beneath larger, invisible structures hold everything together. There is humility in this realization. What you see is never the whole. The most important presences are often hidden. Just as kindness, memory and love cannot be weighed or photographed, yet shape your life, so too does dark matter shape the cosmos, unseen but powerful. Picture yourself floating in the halo of a galaxy. Around you stars glow faintly, orbiting in vast circles. You see their light, but beyond the glow lies an invisible sphere of dark matter, larger than the galaxy itself. You cannot touch it, but you feel its embrace. It is the bowl holding the galaxy, the hand cupping the stars. Take another breath. Imagine your body held in the same way, surrounded by unseen support. You are not separate. You are always embraced, even when you cannot see the arms that hold you. Scientists search for dark matter with great care. They build detectors deep underground, shielded from cosmic rays, waiting for the rare moment when a dark matter particle might brush against ordinary matter. They scan the heavens for its effects, watching galaxies bend light in ways that reveal hidden mass. Piece by piece they trace its presence, even if its nature remains a mystery. But for you, here in rest, the mystery is enough. You do not need to solve it tonight. It is enough to know that unseen support exists, steady and patient, shaping everything around you. Think of your own life. Much of what holds you together is invisible. The trust of friends, the warmth of the memory, the rhythm of your heartbeat, constant and unseen. Dark matter reminds you that the hidden can be the strongest, the silent can be the most enduring. Imagine lying on a calm sea at night. You see the stars reflected on the surface, but beneath lies the depth of the ocean, unseen, holding the reflection steady. Without the depth, the stars would scatter, broken by waves. The ocean's silence is the reason the stars remain. Dark matter is that silence beneath the galaxies, holding their light steady. Your thoughts grow softer now. You no longer need to search for answers. The hidden presence is enough. You are part of a universe supported by invisible strength, bound together by what cannot be seen. As you sink deeper into calm, you realize that emptiness is never hollow. Even when light fails, even when vision ends, presence remains. You are never without support, never truly alone. And as your eyes grow heavy, one thought lingers gently. If dark matter holds galaxies together, what echoes might come from the great explosions within them? What messages might travel across the void, carrying stories of stars that have died but whose light and particles live on? In the next chapter, you will drift into those echoes of distant explosions, the whispers of supernovae spreading endlessly through space. You have rested in the quiet strength of dark matter, the unseen hand that binds galaxies together. Now let us turn to something far more dramatic, yet equally woven into the silence of space, the echoes of distant explosions. Stars, though long-lived, do not burn forever. When their fuel runs dry, some die with extraordinary brilliance, collapsing and then erupting in a flood of light and energy. These are supernovae, the universe's grandest fireworks. Yet their story does not end with the flash. Long after the light fades, their echoes travel across the void, carrying whispers of their existence. You, here and now, are touched by them. Imagine a great bell struck in a cathedral. The sound rings out clear and bright, but even when the strike is gone, the vibrations linger, fading gently into silence. Supernovae are the bells of the cosmos. Their explosion is the strike, their particles and light are the lingering tone. The universe continues to hum with their memory. Take a slow breath, inhale, and picture starlight from a supernova reaching you, light that began its journey centuries ago. Exhale, and imagine particles flowing past, messengers from a star's final breath. You are surrounded by echoes, carried across time. Supernovae scatter the elements that make life possible. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the oxygen in your lungs, all were forged in the heart of stars and spread across space by explosions. You are, quite literally, the echo of a supernova. When you breathe, when you dream, you carry the remnants of distant deaths within you. Picture yourself lying in a quiet meadow at night. Above you, the stars shine softly. Somewhere among them, in ages past, a star collapsed and burst, sending its fragments into the cosmos. Those fragments drifted, joined clouds of dust and gas, formed new stars, new planets, and eventually you. You are the echo given form. Take another breath. With each inhale, you draw in atoms once scattered by a dying star. With each exhale, you return them, part of the endless cycle. Nothing is lost. Everything echoes. When a supernova explodes, it sends shock waves rippling through interstellar gas, stirring it like wind across tall grass. These ripples compress clouds of matter, sparking the birth of new stars. One death becomes the beginning of many lives. The echoes of an ending become the seeds of creation. Rest in that truth. Endings are never final. They are beginnings in disguise. Silence is not absence, but preparation for the next note. Even in the void, explosions echo forward, carrying the story into the future. Scientists study supernovae to understand the life cycles of stars, the creation of elements, the expansion of the universe itself. Some supernovae act as cosmic markers, their brightness so steady they help measure distances across billions of light years. Others leave behind neutron stars or black holes, dense remnants that carry the memory of the explosion in another form. Each echo teaches us something new. Each whisper adds to the song of the cosmos. Imagine now that you are drifting in interstellar space. Ahead of you glows a faint nebula, the remains of a long-ago supernova. Its tendrils of gas spread outward like petals of a flower, glowing faintly with the memory of fire. You float among them, cradled in colours too soft to see with human eyes. You realise you are inside an echo, drifting in the afterbreath of a star. Take another breath. Feel your body heavy, your mind lighter. You are part of this endless cycle: birth, death, rebirth. Just as stars explode and scatter, so too do you release and renew. Each breath is its own echo, a reminder that life continues in patterns without end. There is comfort in knowing you are made from echoes. The atoms within you have travelled farther than you ever could. They carry histories billions of years old, memories of stars that lived, burned, and died. You are their continuation, their echo made flesh. Rest in that knowledge. You're not separate from the universe. You are its memory, its song, its living echo. And as your eyes grow heavy, one question rises softly in the silence. If echoes of explosions could shape the birth of stars, what greater rhythm carries the entire cosmos forward? What force ensures that expansion does not rest, that the universe continues to widen like breath? In the next chapter, you will drift into that rhythm, the expansion that never rests, the quiet widening that carries all galaxies farther apart with each passing moment. You have listened to the echoes of supernovae, stars scattering their gifts into the cosmos. Now let us step back and look not at one star, not even at one galaxy, but at the universe as a whole. What you find is motion, not the restless stirring of particles, not the ripples of gravitational waves, but a grand widening, a slow unfurling of space itself. The universe is expanding, and this expansion never rests. At first, the idea may feel strange. When you look into the night sky, the stars seem fixed, steady in their places. Yet beyond the scale of human sight, galaxies are drifting away from one another. The fabric of space stretches, carrying them like leaves floating on a river that widens with every passing moment. Take a slow breath. As you inhale, imagine galaxies glowing in the dark, steady and bright. As you exhale, picture them drifting apart, not because they move through space, but because space itself stretches between them. You are part of this motion, carried outward in the same silent tide. This discovery began with the work of Edwin Hubble, who in the 1920s studied the light of distant galaxies. He noticed it was shifted toward the red, stretched to longer wavelengths. The farther the galaxies, the greater the shift. The message was clear: the universe is not static. It is expanding ever easier, all at once. Imagine dots painted on the surface of a balloon. As the balloon inflates, the dots drift apart, not because they move, but because the surface beneath them stretches. In the same way, galaxies move apart as the fabric of space itself expands. There is no center, no edge. Everywhere expands, everywhere widens, everywhere breathes. Rest in that image. You're not standing outside the balloon, you're on its surface, carried outward with every stretch. The expansion is not something that happens to others, it happens to you as well, woven into your being. Take another breath, feel your chest expand. The rhythm of your body mirrors the rhythm of the universe. Inhale, expansion, exhale, release. Even in rest, you share this endless motion. The expansion is not gentle only in the past. It continues now, steady and patient. Distant galaxies move away faster than closer ones, and some recede so quickly that their light will never reach us. The universe is stretching beyond our sight, carrying parts of itself into darkness we can never touch. Yet even what vanishes from view remains part of the whole, part of the same widening breath. There is peace in this truth. You do not need to hold on to everything. The universe itself lets go, allowing distances to grow, allowing light to fade, allowing change to unfold without fear. Expansion is not loss. It is the natural rhythm of becoming. Scientists link this expansion to dark energy, the mysterious force that pushes space apart faster and faster. But even before its cause was known, the expansion itself was enough to reshape our understanding. The cosmos is not a fixed stage. It is alive, dynamic, moving in ways too vast to imagine. Picture yourself floating between galaxies. You see them drift apart, their lights growing fainter with distance. There is no sound, no urgency, only the quiet widening of space. You are carried with them, not left behind, not excluded. The expansion belongs to you too. Rest here, in the widening. Allow your mind to loosen, your thoughts to drift like galaxies carried outward. You are part of this patient unfolding, this expansion that never rests. Take one more breath, inhale, and feel yourself expand. Exhale and feel yourself release. You are the universe in miniature, breathing its rhythm, sharing its tide. Dun. And as your eyes grow heavy, one question stirs softly. If expansion carries all things outward, what fills the widening spaces left behind? What texture waits in the void as it grows colder and darker? In the next chapter, you will sink into that truth, the cold that fills the void, a stillness so deep it calms even the restless heart of time. You have drifted with the expansion of the universe, carried outward on the endless tide of widening space. Now pause and feel the texture of what surrounds you. As galaxies drift apart, the spaces between them grow colder, darker, quieter. Heat fades into distance. Light stretches into invisibility. What fills the void is not fire, but cold, a stillness so deep it almost hums. Close your eyes and imagine stepping into a quiet cave in winter. The air is sharp, the stones chilled. Even without wind, you feel the weight of cold around you. In the universe, the same sensation exists, though magnified beyond measure. Between stars and galaxies, the temperature of space falls close to absolute zero, only a few degrees above the coldest state nature allows. Take a slow breath. Inhale the thought of stillness. Exhale into the hush. The void is not empty. It is filled with a cold so deep it steadies the restless pulse of energy. This cosmic chill is the result of expansion. As the universe grows, its ancient light, the afterglow of the Big Bang, stretches into longer, cooler wavelengths. What was once a blazing fireball has faded into a faint microwave background, a glow too cold for the eye to see, yet present everywhere. The universe remembers its own birth as a whisper of warmth spread thin across infinite space. Imagine lying beneath a vast sky at night. You see stars bright and near, but behind them lies this faint background, an invisible quilt of cold light wrapping the cosmos. You're always inside it, bathed in a chill that began nearly 14 billion years ago. There is comfort in this presence. Cold may sound unfriendly, but in truth it is steady, patient, eternal. It slows the restless dance of particles, softens the noise of motion, allows quiet to settle. Cold is the universe's way of resting. Take another breath. Feel your body heavy against the bed, your skin warmed by blankets. Outside your comfort lies winter's chill, and beyond that, the cold of space itself. Yet even in that cold there is belonging. You are cradled inside a universe wrapped in stillness, a silence that cools without ending. Scientists measure this background temperature as about 2.7 Kelvin, just above absolute zero. It is the echo of the Big Bang, stretched thin by time. They build delicate instruments to map it, finding faint ripples that tell the story of the universe's earliest moments. What you feel as emptiness is, in truth, a record, the memory of creation written in cold light. Picture yourself floating in intergalactic space. Around you no stars, no warmth, only the faint hum of microwave light, stretching endlessly, touching everything with its chill. You are not abandoned. You are wrapped in the same blanket that covers all things, the same cold that steadies galaxies, stars and atoms alike. There is beauty in this cold. It reminds you that not all comfort is warmth. Rest too comes from coolness, from stillness, from quiet that steadies the mind. The cold of space is not harsh, not hostile. It is the universe at peace. Think of your own life, moments of heat, excitement, passion, energy, burn brightly. But without the cool pauses, they would overwhelm. You need stillness as much as motion, rest as much as fire. The cold that fills the void is the universe's reminder. Balance is found in quiet as well as in light. Take another breath. Inhale warmth from within. Exhale into the vast coolness around you. You are both fire and stillness, motion and rest, warmth and cold. Scientists wonder what will happen as expansion continues. If galaxies drift further apart, if stars burn out, the universe may grow colder still. Someday, trillions of years from now, it may become a place of quiet dark, a sea of near-absolute stillness. Yet even then, there will be presence. Even then, the hum of zero-point energy, the whisper of quantum fluctuations, will remain. Cold does not mean nothing. It means calm. Imagine lying in a snow-covered field at night. The air is crisp, the stars bright, the silence deep. You are not afraid. The cold steadies you, slows your thoughts, invites you inward. The void's chill is the same, a blanket of quiet across all existence. Rest here, Let the thought of cosmic cold soothe you. You are wrapped not only in warmth but in stillness, part of a universe that knows how to rest as well as how to burn. As your body softens, your thoughts drift like snowflakes, quiet and slow. You realize that emptiness is not absence but calm, and that cold is not lifeless but steady. You're at peace, carried by the chill of space, the silence of the void. And as your eyes grow heavy, another thought flickers softly. If the void is so cold, what keeps stars alive within it? What fires burn against such vast stillness, glowing for billions of years before they fade? In the next chapter, you will drift closer to those fires, into the lifespans of stars, learning how they are born, how they shine, and how their light keeps the darkness from growing too deep. You have rested in the cold that fills the void, the universe's steady stillness spread across space. Now let us draw closer to the fires that shine against this quiet backdrop, the stars. They are the lanterns of the cosmos, burning patiently through darkness, each with its own lifespan, a birth, a life, and a death written in light. Imagine watching a candle flame. It flickers, steady for a time, then fades as its wax is spent. Stars, though far greater, follow a similar rhythm. They are born from clouds of gas and dust, they shine for millions or billions of years, and eventually they dim and die. Their lives are measured not in minutes, but in cosmic ages. Take a slow breath, inhale, and imagine a star forming from a cold cloud, gravity pulling gas into a glowing sphere. Exhale, and picture the star's steady burning, light flowing outward into the night. With each breath you mirror the rise and fall of stellar lives. Stars begin in nurseries, vast clouds of hydrogen where gravity gathers matter into dense knots. As pressure builds, fusion ignites, and a new star is born, glowing in the darkness. These newborn stars are like infants, their light fragile yet persistent. Over time they grow steady, entering the long middle years of their lives. Our sun is one such star, halfway through its journey. It burns calmly, balancing gravity's pull inward with the push of fusion outward. For billions of years it has shone with quiet reliability, warming Earth, sustaining life. Its presence is so constant you rarely notice its age, yet like all stars, it too will one day fade. Rest in that awareness. Constancy is precious because it is finite. The light you see today is a chapter in a long story, one that will continue even after the sun is gone. When a star exhausts its fuel, its fate depends on its mass. Smaller stars like the sun swell into red giants, their outer layers drifting away until only a dense white dwarf remains, a glowing ember that will cool for trillions of years. Larger stars end more dramatically, collapsing and then exploding as supernovae, leaving behind neutron stars or black holes. Imagine lying beneath the night sky, each star above you carrying its own secret clock. Some are just beginning their journey, others are in their long middle years, some are nearing their end, preparing to scatter their elements into space. You cannot hear the ticking, but you know it is there, a rhythm written in light. Take another breath. With each inhale you imagine the birth of stars. With each exhale you imagine their fading. You are part of the same rhythm, for your body carries the elements they created, and your life is another chapter in the story they began. There is comfort in this cycle. Death is not an ending, but a transformation. The matter released by dying stars becomes the seed for new ones, their light giving rise to future fire. The universe is not a place of endings, but of continuations, each star passing its story forward. Think of your own life. You too burn with energy, not forever, but for a time. And when your time passes, what you leave behind will become part of something new. Just as stars enrich the cosmos, you enrich the lives around you, carrying the rhythm forward. Imagine yourself floating in a stellar nursery. Around you, vast clouds swirl, lit by young stars just beginning to glow. You drift among them, feeling the warmth of their light, the promise of their future. You are safe in their company, part of the story they will tell. Your thoughts soften as you rest in this awareness. You no longer need to cling to permanence. You are part of a rhythm larger than yourself, a rhythm written across galaxies, a rhythm that carries both life and death in its song. Take one last slow breath. Inhale the warmth of stars. Exhale into the cold of space. Together they balance. Fire and stillness, birth and death, presence and absence. You are part of both. And as your eyes grow heavy, another question drifts softly across your mind. If stars live and die, scattering their gifts into space, how does their light continue to travel, carrying their memory across the dark? In the next chapter, you will follow that glow, the faintest starlight that crosses the void, a thread of memory weaving galaxies together. You have drifted through the lifespans of stars, watching them born, burn, and fade into quiet remnants. Yet even when a star dies, its light continues on. Across the endless dark, photons, those tiny messengers of energy, travel steadily, carrying the memory of a star long gone. This is the faintest starlight, the fragile glow that threads the universe together. Imagine striking a match in the night. The flame flickers, then disappears, but its light continues outward, racing across the air until it fades from sight. Stars behave the same way. Their light, once released, does not stop. It journeys across billions of years, crossing galaxies, brushing against planets, falling gently upon your eyes. Take a slow breath. Inhale, and picture that light beginning its journey. Exhale, and imagine it touching you now, a message from centuries or millennia ago. You are the end of a story that began long before your birth. Some of the stars you see tonight may no longer exist. Their fuel has been spent, their fire extinguished. Yet their photons are still on the way, still travelling across the void. When you look up, you see not the present but the past, frozen in beams of light. The night sky is a memory book, each star a page written in photons. There is tenderness in this truth. Light does not demand to be noticed. It travels patiently, indifferent to distance, content to shine until it is absorbed. You, lying beneath the sky, are its reader, its witness, its resting place. Take another breath. Feel your chest rise and fall. With each inhale, imagine photons entering your eyes, soft as feathers, carrying stories from across the universe. With each exhale, release the weight of time. You are part of the journey, part of the memory carried in starlight. Scientists study faint starlight to learn about the universe. They use telescopes to capture photons that have travelled billions of years, arriving now like whispers from the dawn of time. Each photon is a messenger, revealing how stars formed, how galaxies grew, how the cosmos evolved. The faintest light is a bridge, carrying knowledge across eternity. Imagine floating far from Earth, in a place where the Milky Way stretches like a river of silver dust. Around you, faint stars glow at the edge of sight, their light delicate, almost too soft to notice. Yet even the dimmest star contributes to the whole, adding its thread to the fabric of night. This is how the universe is built, not by brilliance alone, but by countless faint glows weaving together. Just as your life is shaped not only by great moments, but by quiet ones, so too is the cosmos illuminated by its faintest starlight. Rest in that image. You do not need to shine brightly to matter. Your presence, however gentle, is part of the fabric. Just as faint light fills the night, your quiet moments fill the world. Take another breath. Imagine yourself glowing faintly, your light subtle but steady, drifting across the lives of others. You may not notice your influence, but it continues, travelling farther than you know. The faintest starlight also teaches patience. A photon can travel for billions of years before reaching its destination. Its journey is not hurried, not anxious. It simply moves forward, step by step, wave by wave, until it arrives. You too can live with patience, trusting that your journey unfolds in time. Picture yourself lying in a meadow at night, the stars faint but steady above you. Each point of light is a messenger from the past, a reminder that nothing is truly lost. Even after the source is gone, its glow lingers, travelling on. You are part of this memory, part of this endless story. Your thoughts soften as you rest in this truth. The night sky becomes not a void, but a library of light. Each star a word, each galaxy a chapter. You are the reader, drifting gently through the story, carried by its rhythm. Take one last breath in this chapter. Inhale the faintest starlight. Exhale into the dark that carries it. You are balanced between light and silence, memory and presence, past and now, and as your eyes grow heavy, another question drifts softly. If faint starlight carries memories across space, what becomes of the universe itself as time stretches forward? Does it burn forever, or does it too have an ending? In the next chapter, you will drift into that final mystery, the fate of the universe, the quiet possibilities of how all things may one day rest. You have followed faint starlight across the void, photons carrying memories from stars long gone. Now, in this final chapter of your journey, let us step back and look at everything at once: the galaxies, the threads of magnetism, the hidden dark matter, the quiet hum of energy. The question rises gently like a tide at night. What is the fate of the universe? Take a slow breath, inhale, and imagine the cosmos as it is now, alive with galaxies, stars, planets, and light. Exhale, and picture it drifting forward in time, billions and trillions of years ahead. The rhythm continues, and with it, possibilities unfold. Scientists consider many endings. One is called the heat death. In this future, expansion continues forever. Galaxies drift apart until their light no longer reaches one another. Stars exhaust their fuel, planets grow cold, black holes slowly evaporate. Energy spreads thinner and thinner until the universe becomes nearly uniform, a sea of silence just above absolute zero. Nothing new is born. Motion slows. The cosmos rests in stillness. Imagine a fire fading. At first it blazes, then it dims to embers, then to ash. Heat. Death is the ash of the universe, not a violent ending, but a gentle cooling, a sigh that stretches across eternity. Take another breath, inhale warmth, exhale stillness. You can feel both balanced in your own body. Another possibility is the big crunch. In this vision, expansion one day slows, then reverses. Galaxies stop drifting apart and begin to fall back together. The cosmos contracts, folding inward, until all matter and energy collapse into a final point, a mirror of the Big Bang. Imagine the balloon deflating, its surface shrinking until everything meets again. This fate is not since but return, the universe exhaling backward into itself. There is also the Big Rip. In this ending, dark energy grows stronger with time. The expansion of space accelerates until it overcomes gravity itself. Galaxies break apart, stars are torn from their planets, atoms themselves unravel. The fabric of space-time splits thread by thread, leaving only the raw hum of energy. This is not cooling or collapsing, but unraveling, a cosmos dissolving into its smallest pieces. Rest with these images: cooling, collapsing, unraveling. Each is an ending, yet each carries its own kind of peace. Whether the universe fades like embers, returns like a breath, or dissolves like threads, the story continues in another form. Take another breath. Feel your chest expand and contract. You're the miniature of the universe, your body mirroring its possibilities. Warmth fading to rest, contraction drawing inward, or release unraveling tension. You're not separate from its fate. You are part of its rhythm. But perhaps the most important truth is this: whatever the universe is ending, it is not an absence. It is transformation. Energy does not vanish. Matter does not disappear. They change form, pass onward, echo forward. Just as stars die and give birth to new ones, the universe itself may pass into something we cannot yet imagine. Picture yourself standing on the shore of a vast ocean at night. You cannot see the far side, you cannot know where it ends, but you can feel the tide moving, steady and eternal. The universe is like that tide. Its end may not be an ending at all, but simply another turn, another wave. Scientists may not yet know which fate awaits. The data is still unfolding, the answers still hidden. But for you, here and now, the mystery is not frightening. It is soothing. The universe will follow its rhythm, as it always has. You are carried within it, safe in its vast design. Take another breath. Inhale the presence of stars still burning. Exhale into the silence that will one day come. You are both, fire and stillness, birth and rest, light and shadow. Imagine lying beneath the night sky. Above you, galaxies wheel in silence. Around you, the void stretches endless. Within you, atoms forged in stars hum quietly. You are part of the universe's story, no matter how it ends. You are its witness, its echo, its continuation. And as you drift deeper into rest, you realize something profound. The fate of the universe is not only far away in time, it is also here, now, in each breath you take, in each pause between thoughts, in each moment of stillness. Endings are part of beginnings. Rest is part of life. Silence is part of song. Take one final breath for this journey. Inhale the memory of galaxies. Exhale into the quiet of the void. The universe expands and cools, burns and fades, but through it all, you are part of its fabric, its rhythm, its destiny. And as your eyes grow heavy, let this closing thought cradle you. The universe's fate is not something to fear. It is simply the last chapter of a story still unfolding. You are within that story, carried by its pages, glowing with its words. Whatever the ending, you are already part of its infinite embrace.